Welcome back to the Kaspa Silver YouTube channel. Today's video, I have another news topic video for you guys. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. To start, Kaspa currently is sitting at 16.33 cents with the current volume of $36,858,481, and the current market cap for Kaspa is 4.04 billion, and we are currently at a ranking of number 26. The current supply for Kaspa is 24.7 billion, and that is equivalent to about 86.32% mined. The current hash rate is sitting at 1.08 exahashes, with the highest hash rate being 1.16 exahashes. The current block reward for Kaspa is sitting at 87 Kaspa. The next reward will be 82 Kaspa, and that reduction is going to be happening in the next 10 days on the 4th of October. The current amount of active addresses is sitting at 424,878, and our max transactions per second is 1,178 TPS. Let's go ahead and look at KRC20 tokens and see what is going on over here. There's currently 723 tokens that have been created. This has generated over 32.2 million Kaspa in fees, and this has also generated 23.4 million transfers. So really cool to see those statistics there. Let's go ahead and take a look at Kaspalytics. And first, let's go ahead and look at the transaction count. And if we're looking in the last week here, you could see that Kaspa was putting in over 1.50 million transactions. And now recently it has steadied off ever since the KRC20 hype has kind of settled down. And it looks like it's trying to put in about over 600,000 transactions per day. If we're looking at the fees, and we're looking at total fees paid in the last week, you could see that recently, the last 2 days, there has been about close to 500,000 Kaspa that has been paid in fees to miners. If we're looking at the inactive supply for the last 3 months, it is still sitting at over 60% of Kaspa has not moved in the last 3 months. For 6 months, it's sitting at 48.36%. For 1 year, it's sitting at 24.24%. And for 2 years, over 7% of the Kaspa supply has not moved in the last 2 years. So let's go ahead and get into topics. We got a lot of them to go through, so let's get into it. First off, the Kaspa Eco Foundation, KEF, has launched the KEF Catalyst Ecosystem Plan. And they say, hey, Kaspa fan, we're excited to announce that the Catalyst Ecosystem Plan Series 1 has officially launched with $10 million in funding for the series. We're igniting the Kaspa currency ecosystem through a multi-phase campaign that includes grants, user and developer education, infrastructure, development, community events, and etc. More things to come. This is just the beginning of a massive way of innovation. So this is really cool to see that there's $10 million in funding to just basically increase the development of Kaspa, get more people interested in possibly building on Kaspa. And from my understanding, I believe KEF is going to be behind a DEX that's going to be coming to Kaspa to hopefully support the KRC20 token ecosystem. Next, we have a new Rusty Kaspa stable mainnet release. This is version 0.15.1. And if you do want to get this version on a desktop app, I do recommend you upgrade to KNG. KDX no longer is going to get support, so you should be moving over to KNG. With this update, just brings a lot more stability improvements. And it is very good for people who are solo mining. Make sure you guys do update to this version. But if you still are on KDX, KNG now supports seed phrases so that you can import your seed phrase from KDX into KNG, or you could just go ahead and send the Kaspa from KDX over to KNG so that you can go ahead and move over to the new wallet known as Kaspa NG. Next, we have Kaspa now being listed on Bulgaria.com, which is a global non-custodial swap. So this is just another swap pair for Kaspa on this exchange. There's no registration required. It has lowest fees. It's trusted and secure and deep liquidity. I have not used this myself, but this is good for more adoption for Kaspa. Next, we have Simple Swap. having an exclusive rate drop for Kaspa. This is actually going to end on the 26th. This was started on the 13th. So you still got 2 days to get an exclusive rate drop for Simple Swap. Now, personally, I have not tried this. I always just stick to Change Now because their rates are really not that bad when I've used them. So I stick to Change Now. But if you are interested in looking at maybe at a better rate, then look into Simple Swap for getting some Kaspa. Next, we have another listing for Kaspa on the DMEX exchange. Now, this is not a spot listing, but a futures listing. And we just know that this happens so often that exchanges like to list futures first for Kaspa simply because they need to build liquidity. So they don't list on spot right away. But it is good to see that Kaspa just continues to get adopted on different exchanges. Now, let's get into the big news of this news video today. And that is the fact that we have new KRC20 tokens that are pegged to things like USDT, USDC, Bitcoin, Ethereum. And this is because Finance Change has finally integrated Kaspa onto their dApp. And so now you could buy native Cas with USDT from 20 plus change, bridge Cas to and from the Kaspa network. And so there's been a lot of questions regarding this because a lot of people want to know how this works. And Finance Change decided to release an article here saying stablecoins and mainstream assets now available on Kaspa KRC20. And if we go over here, it says Change is excited to announce the successful deployment of stablecoins and mainstream cryptocurrencies on Kaspa KRC20. And if we continue to scroll down here, they kind of go into details about how this works. So it says security and how it works. Since KRC20 doesn't yet support dynamic minting, Change has pre-minted the CUSDT, CUSDC, CETH, and CBTC tokens. When a user bridge assets into the Kaspa ecosystem, the native assets remain locked in a vault secured by Distributed Control Rights Management (DCRM) technology. This ensures users can bridge in or out their assets at any time. Change has been a trusted bridge infrastructure provider for over 4 years, and more recently, one of the most liquid cross-chain DEX aggregators on the market with over $1 billion in cumulative trading volume. By leveraging and building on top of DCRM technology, developed in collaboration with world-renowned cryptographers, the DCRM tech allows for secure multi-party computation and threshold signature schemes, ensuring that vault addresses holding assets across multiple chains remain highly secure. The private keys for these vaults are never generated. Instead, DCRM nodes collaboratively generate public keys that allow transactions to be signed without revealing private keys. This robust infrastructure ensures the security of users' assets during and after the bridging process. The deployed token tickers are CUSDT, CUSDC, CBTC, and CETH because they are wrapped versions issued by Change. The native USDT and USDC tickers are reserved for seeing Circles and Tether's direct issuance. Once this becomes reality, all Change wrapped tokens will automatically convert to their native equivalents without any action required from users. And Finance Change has actually been responsible for the wrapped version of Kaspa on the Ethereum network ever since pretty much July of 2023. And they pretty much have never really depegged at all. It's pretty much been consistent. So they have been pretty reliable. I personally, myself, have tested out their swap feature to basically just buy USDT on the Kaspa network. And you could do that by going to their website right here. And it also communicates with Casware. Now, I know I did say that Casware is an app that you probably should avoid, but they have been doing a lot of updates that have so far pretty much fixed any kind of bugs that have caused any issues. But mind you, if you are going to mess around with Casware, please don't be sending your whole entire bag to the Kaspa wallet. Just send an amount that is enough to go ahead and test this out, which I did. And so you could see here that if I am on the Ethereum chain, I can go ahead and search for Kaspa and change it to the Kaspa chain. And if I click where it says USDT right here, you could see all the token options that are on Kaspa itself. So now you can basically get exposure to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and also exposure to the stablecoin market within Kaspa, all staying within the Kaspa network via the KRC20 tokens. And they also said that when the stablecoin issuers make their native USDT available for Kaspa, USDC available for Kaspa, they will migrate whatever you have in these contracts into the native USDT USDC pairs. So this is really good news for Kaspa, as a lot of people really like to get into the stablecoin market when they are on the network. They would like to possibly save some money within a stablecoin market so that they can easily transfer in and out of USDT and back into a specific coin. And so you are now able to do this on Kaspa using Finance Change, and it has worked pretty well. I personally tested out just acquiring some USDT. You could see over here, that's why I have CUSDT, and I kind of just played around moving it. And if we look at my past orders over here, you could see that this was my last transaction that I did. I received 105 Kaspa. The fee was 24 cents, and it literally completed like within less than a minute. So this is pretty much working pretty flawlessly, but obviously be aware that this isn't like fully decentralized or anything. This is going to be a centralized kind of thing, especially even when stablecoins come onto Kaspa natively, like USDT. Those things are still centralized. Tether, the issuers of these stablecoins, still have complete control basically of people who move around assets within their network. So just be mindful of that. Next, I just wanted to announce that Kaspa KII is currently in Dublin today, and they have been having an event explaining different things that Kaspa KII is going to bring to Kaspa, and I will probably have another dedicated video going into the things that they revealed. I did see some things about them trying to issue their own stablecoin for Kaspa, also their own exchange for Kaspa. So there's going to be some interesting details coming out of this, and I'll be sure to keep you up to date in its own video. Next, we have iServer announcing that there's going to be a new home miner that's going to be for Kaspa. So this is going to be interesting to see. I really wonder how much the hash rate is going to be and what the price is going to be, as well as the watts with this thing. But I'll be sure to let you guys know in the next news video if they do already release this. And then next, we have another on-ramp option that's soon going to be coming to Kaspa via CoinPal. So it looks like they're going to be building an on-ramp for Kaspa. So that is also really good to see here. And last but not least, Tangem has teased a little bit here that KRC20 tokens are going to be coming to Tangem as well. So they will be supporting them in the future. And that is just really good, as currently right now, KRC20 tokens are not really supported in a lot of wallets. So it's pretty difficult to even be in that market right now when there's just not a lot of wallets supporting it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Before we go, if you guys are interested in getting a Tangem wallet, you can use the code KASPASILVER at the checkout and you'll get 10% off these cards. I'll also receive a commission if you do use my code. So I greatly do appreciate that because it helps support this channel. And if you do look into getting these, I would recommend getting the 3-card set, and Tangem is a really good solution for keeping your Kaspa offline and off exchanges. Whenever you hold your Kaspa on an exchange, you do not have actual custody of your Kaspa. And so if the exchange was to ever go bankrupt or lock your funds or anything like that, you really can't do anything because they have complete control over it. So you can gain self-sovereignty and self-custody by moving your Kaspa into Tangem. So thank you guys again so much for watching this video. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new around here. And as always, don't be average, be different.